Well, my story was based on a building that I know quite well because it was part of my primary school, and I'm from a small town in Northern Ireland called Warren Point, which is on Carlingford Lough, and it's looking across to Carlingford, a little village and Omeath in the Republic of Ireland. And I knew this building. I'd done an art project on it when I was at school, and I just was Googling one night. I'd seen a photograph of it, and I ended up getting onto a historical forum, and I was reading that it used to be a girls' boarding school, and I didn't know that. I knew that it had been a hotel, the Great Northern Railway Hotel, when the railways were, really popular, but I didn't know that it had been a girls' boarding school. And I read a little bit about that, and it said that they used to have, it was a very strict school, of course. It was run by the Sisters of Mercy, nuns, and they used to have an annual trip across Carlingford Lough to Omeath, but that had to be cancelled because one of the students was caught smoking on the boat. So that was where the idea came from.
This is based on a true story.
Yes.
That is fascinating.
Well, the word count is always the biggest challenge. I'm quite verbose, verbally and in writing, so that was my problem, just trying to get a story, a beginning, a middle and an end into that very constrained word count. Because you do find yourself sort of running away with it and wanting to put in lots of things that you then have to take out again because you realise nothing's happened and I'm already nearly at my maximum word count. So you have to do a lot of editing, and so well, last minute very much usually. I'm a bit of a procrastinator, so it's always usually more nighttime, evening time. Well, try, first of all, don't be too intimidated to actually enter a competition like this. Just believe that you can do something, and don't expect too much of yourself. Just tell yourself, I've got to write something.
Marise Boylan for Star of the Sea.
The school stood at the end of the promenade from where it curled back towards the town square, affording passers-by a double vantage point from which to admire its crested tower and fretwork balcony. In its previous incarnation as the Great Northern Railway Hotel, it had been the jewel in the crown of the coastal resort, where afternoons were idled away at bandstand concerts, tea dances, and Pierrot shows, or even, for the more adventurous, the hot salt baths. However, fortunes faded during the Great War, and in 1922 the hotel was sold to the Sisters of Mercy, who dismantled the gold leaf mirrors and fripperies and erected crucifixes and statues of the Virgin Mary in their stead. The following year, the Star of the Sea boarding school for young ladies opened its doors to the well-heeled Catholic girls of Northern Ireland. Girls such as Edith. Edith queued to fill her wash bowl, then performed her modest ablutions, a cat's lick to the face and hands, and a quick brush of her teeth, pulled on her navy dress, and followed the other boarders as they filed out and down the heavily beeswaxed stairs. Sister Josephine stood sentry at the chapel door, surveying them for a badly tied bow, a hair out of place. The school's tiny chapel retained its chandelier and mosaic floor from its secular heyday. Its pews faced away from the front windows, lest the congregation be tempted to gaze across the loch to the new Irish Free State and the Cooley Mountains, where, it was rumoured, lay the body of the giant Finn McCool. On the boarders' weekend walks, Edith would attempt to decipher his form with her gaze, making out a foot here, a nose there. The priest swung the golden thurible, and a cloud of incense snaked its way through the chapel, filling Edith's nostrils with its alluring smokiness and constricting her throat. Despite her best efforts, a fit of dry coughing escaped, and Sister Josephine shot her a steely look. Noreen Darcy, a publican's daughter from Armagh, hissed behind her. "Not teacher's pet now, are you?"